Hello friends, welcome to the video number 8 for the JavaScript series. And well, this is the second part of the video about variables. Um, well, I'm gonna have to remake this video. I just recorded, but for some reason the audio got not recorded. So let's try it again. Well, if I remember correctly, I think video number 7 the last thing we saw was the assignment operator. So let's continue. With ending our variable declarations with the semicolon. Um, this is basically a statement, or well, it's an instruction that we're giving to JavaScript. So again, we saw when we talk about statements, we saw that this is optional, it's not actually required. But again, if you later decide to move on to a different programming language, some of them, especially programming languages that comes from the C language, they are going to uh, demand that you must finish the declarations or your statements with the semicolon. So let's make our good habit right now and end our variable declarations and all our statements with the semicolon. Um, well, the next thing is that it's probably faster if I just do it this way. Copy. Let's say my number 1, my number 2, and then I'm gonna have the sum. Right, so I can just declare the variables without assigning a value immediately. Um, I can assign the value later. Now let's see what happens here. Right, I'm declaring my variables. You know what, let me leave this like that and save this and run this. See it in Chrome, and I get this NA, and this means not a number. Right, so what's happening here is I have declared my variables, but I have nothing assigned to it. There is no value stored in these variables, and then I'm trying to add them and store that in this variable called sum. So when I try to display that, well, I get that again, not a number from JavaScript. So what I will need to do, again, I can, for example, declare all my variables first, and then actually use them. Save this and run it, launch it in Chrome, and now I get my number 10 again. Alright, so well, we don't need to assign the value right away. We can just declare our variables at the start of a program. It's a good habit just to, or good practice just to declare any variables at the beginning of the script, and we can use them later. But or again, another thing we can do is just declare it and use it or assign a value right away. Um, okay, we have already talked about the assignment operator. Um, I think, I'm sorry, I don't remember, but I think video number 7 we talked about that in variables need, we don't have to declare to assign values directly. We can assign also expressions. Again, in the end, these two things or this expression is going to have to be evaluated to some value, and that value is going to be stored in this variable. But well, again, you don't need to put a value directly, or you don't have to. You can use expressions, and then JavaScript is going to evaluate that and store the value, the resultant value, in your variable. Um, Another thing you can do is that you can declare more than one variable in a single line. I don't really like that, but if you like it and you feel comfortable with it, let me show you how you can do that. Again, let's use var, and we can say, just for example, let me go back for lazy reasons, x equals 7 comma, we're gonna use the comma to separate variables. Then y equals 10, comma, and then z is gonna be equals x plus y. Okay, we end the instruction, the statement, so we put our semicolon right there. Before saving this, let's change this to z. Save this, and let's watch it in Chrome. And well, I get 17. So again, you can declare more than one variable in just in one single line. If you like it and feel comfortable with it, by all means, go ahead, do it. I prefer to have one variable per line, so it's clear for me. I have one variable here, another one here, another one here. And well, the last thing that I want to cover, or that we're gonna be covering about variables, is that you don't need to declare the data type that is gonna be stored in that variable. If you have practiced a little with a different programming language, for example, if you saw my videos about Visual Basic 4 applications, probably you remember we need to do something like, for example, dim. That's the way we declare in VBA. Dim x as int or integer or something like that. We don't need to do this in JavaScript. We don't tell it what type of data is going to be stored in that variable, because in JavaScript we have what is known as a dynamic data type. That means that, for example, here I am storing a number, but later on I can use the same container, the same variable, and instead of 7 I can assign now, for example, my name or any other string of text. I can assign a boolean, so I can store basically any kind of data type into the same variable. So that has its advantages, but of course, imagine if here I'm trying to use these variables to make a sum, and then somebody instead of 7 says 7. Well, that of course is going to be ruining my program, right? Um, so well, everything has something good, something bad, probably. Uh, and well, that's the last thing I wanted to cover. You don't need to specify any data type. We are using dynamic data types in JavaScript. And well, that's going to be our next topic in the next video, video number 9. We're going to start talking about data types. If this video hopefully records with audio, I hope. Um, and well, that's it for this video. I hope that you found it useful. Please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That helps me a lot. And well, as always, thanks all of you for watching, for your time to watch my videos, and I hope to see you on video number 9 to start talking about data types.